Good morning, beautiful people. What a beautiful morning, actually. Very sunny, very pleasant. The sky is very contrasty. Love it. I believe in you, and I trust in you. And you know, I've been thinking in the last few days about something very specific. That whenever we have judgments towards other people, or we blame them, or we see them as them blaming us, or judging us, or we feel like a victim because somebody's treating us badly, there's a misconception over there, and I'm gonna throw this right in, that we have an incorrect perception of them in us. Essentially, whenever we feel blamed or judged or, in a sense, victimized, it is our feeling and thoughts that make us that. It's not reality that makes us that. And I'm not saying that sometimes people don't act in weird ways and sometimes in reckless ways and also insensitive ways that they might not really try to hurt us. But the way that we see them and our perception of them, if we judge them, is quite incorrect. So why? Let me give you an example of what's been happening recently in my life. So for the last week, or maybe last week, last week for 5 days, I was thinking that I'm judged by a certain group of people. I was thinking that I'm judged, that I'm not appreciated enough, that I'm not valued enough. And those were thoughts coming to my mind. I was not subscribing to them, however, because I was seeing that they're coming from my past. I was just observing them and letting them come so that I can see where they're stemming from, essentially. What's the core of those thoughts and emotions? And I noticed that it actually comes from school years, that I was bullied and I was, in a sense, alienated from others because others were kind of as if gathering against me. And in many ways, this was happening, but I can tell you now that this was just a continuation of my family's feelings and thoughts, which me as a child I picked upon, and then I started projecting them in my own life. And this is what was happening in my childhood. Plus this, that at home I would be treated in a specific way. But again, you see things that we pick up that are not necessarily ours. Back to last week. So I was thinking that I'm judged, and with those thoughts and emotions that were coming up, but I knew that that's not me. I knew that's not who I am, and I knew that this is not who they are. Even though certain actions would quote unquote, prove that their actions were faulty against me and judgmental, etc. And then, guess what? After a few days, I meet with those people and we talk about certain things. I even share with them that I've had those emotions and thoughts, that I trace them back to my past, to my childhood, and that I have felt like this and like that, and that I've just observed those thoughts, and I knew that those people are not like that, and that I can act towards them in a beautiful, happy way that I would want to act towards every other human being, because I know who I am. And I know that when I'm good and happy and loving towards others, whether they feel good or bad, whether they like me or not, this is who I am, and this is my responsibility, and essentially my authentic expression of the life which is in this body. And I shared this with them, and guess what? One of them shared that actually they were feeling even worse than me, that they were feeling judged, unappreciated, that they are not a part of this group of people, that they don't belong, that they are too much, that they cannot find other people to resonate with because this group might be judging them and not really wanting them in this group. Can you imagine? And if I would have bought into those thoughts and decided, oh, this judgment, I subscribe to it, so I'm going to judge this person, and this is me, the judgment, the judge, yeah. I am expressing the judgment. If I would buy into those thoughts that are in my mind, and then I would see that actually they are feeling the same way. Those people that I thought that I'm judging. And I was like, guys, we cannot trust those thoughts and feelings. We cannot trust them. They're not trustworthy. And it's not we that are not trustworthy, it's the thoughts and feelings. Because the moment we subscribe to them, we label another human being in us. And we create an image of them. And we say, that's who you are, and that's how I'm going to treat you. And I'm not going to treat you nicely for the most part, or I'm going to avoid you, or whatever. This is who we become. Because essentially it's not them. They don't do anything wrong. It's the thoughts and feelings that we hold in ourselves. This is the problem. This is the thing that has to be observed and has to be loved. Because those incorrect perceptions in us are only ours to deal with. Only ours. This is nobody else's responsibility. And in a sense, if we want to live happy lives and want goodness, wish goodness and happiness to others, we have to take responsibility for what's happening inside of us. Because there is never a guilty one. The only guilty one is the one that judges. And this is a thought and a feeling. It's not even you. But they just come up in our bodies. We feel them and we decide, okay, reality is like this. I am like that. This person did me wrong, or this person is X, Y, and Z. We put a label on them and we decide that this is how life is. But life is not like this. People change from moment to moment. People realize stuff. You realize stuff. I realize stuff. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we subscribe to incorrect, to faulty emotions and thoughts which are not representing reality. Because without those thoughts and emotions, people would look perfect. Whether they do wrong things, quote unquote, or good things, they would look perfect, and we would be even compassionate towards them, lovingly compassionate towards them. Check it with yourself. This is not like wishy-washy talk. This is not just some theory or some philosophy. This is a human fact. This is a human being fact. This is how we operate in this life. We decide how we're going to do things and how we're going to think about things, unless we've given control to thoughts and emotions in our lives that are not even correct. Because the only correct thoughts and emotions are those that wish good to others, that are loving, that are caring, that are happy, that are empowering and inspiring. If we feel and think those things, we know that we are on the right path. If we do not, we know that we've picked up something which has not even been ours. We've inherited something from family, society, friends, etc. Or even our own experiences that we've perceived in this wrong, incorrect way, that we've become a victim. And we don't know how to think clearly anymore. We judge others, we say our boss is like this, my friends are like that. Well, are they really? Are they really? It's up to us to find out and to love this in ourselves. Love you all, guys. See you soon. Ciao.